Another tool available through SOLIDWORKS Intelligent Feature Technology is the Mate Xpert. Formerly known as Mate Diagnostics, the Mate Xpert helps you avoid mate errors and simplifies the process of troubleshooting mate errors in assemblies. To launch Mate Xpert, click Tools, Mate Xpert, or right-click the Mate group or any mate in the Mate group and select Mate Xpert. The Mate Xpert Property Manager will appear. Begin by clicking the Diagnose button. This will analyze any mate errors and organize them into subsets. Within each subset, you'll find mates that relate to the same problem. This is very important. By collecting related mates, you can easily review each one and decide for yourself which one should be edited or suppressed. Each subset will present different information. For example, this subset contains all mates relating to a specific error. It also reports here in the yellow field that planar faces are parallel, but their alignment is reversed. This is a pretty clear indicator that the alignment of this mate needs to be flipped. To correct errors, right-click on a mate, and you'll have the option to edit or suppress a mate. In the case of a misaligned mate that's not satisfied, you'll also have the option of toggling the alignment. In this case, I'll right-click the coincident mate and select the Toggle option. Often correcting a single mate error can have the effect of correcting multiple mate errors. I'll click OK to conclude this Mate Xpert and rerun it to see what changes have occurred. This time, only 2 subsets appear. I can continue to inspect each group and decide either to edit or suppress any of the mates. But for now, let's turn to the section labeled Not Satisfied Mates here at the bottom of the Property Manager. This section will list any mates where the geometry does not reflect what the mate dictates. In this case, both of these mates are not satisfied. In the case of a coincident mate that's not satisfied, SOLIDWORKS reports a small distance between entities that should be coincident. In the case of the concentric mate, SOLIDWORKS reports that there's actually a distance between the centers. Here again, I can right-click any mate listed and either edit or suppress it. I'll go ahead and get out of this Mate Xpert. And to see these mate errors graphically, I can now click on the text that says Overdefined in the status bar. When I do, the View Mate Errors window appears. I can click each mate error to display a flag pointing to the mate sets that are conflicting. Each flag tells you what's wrong with the mate, what kind of mate it is, allow you to flip the mate alignment, force the mate, edit the mate, or suppress the mate. For the coincident mate, we saw a moment ago that there's actually a small distance between them. Perhaps instead of being coincident, this should just be a parallel mate. To edit this mate, I can click on the paperclip icon, or I can also click on the mate and select Edit Feature. When I do, the Mate Property Manager appears where I can make the change. In the case of the concentric mate, we saw a moment ago that there was actually a small distance between the centers of the unsatisfied mates. But which of these mates is correct? Well, if I click on each flag, I can see the entities highlight that are trying to be mated together. Common sense tells me that the screw should be mounted with the hole rather than the cutaway. But just to be on the safe side, let's force the mate to be concentric with the cutaway to see the effect. To do this, I'll click the Force Mate button on the error flag. As soon as I do, I can see this causes numerous other warnings and an error with our other concentric mate with the hole. This is obviously not the result we're looking for. To get back to where we were before, I'll click the Undo button. In the case of this concentric mate error, it appears that this is a redundant mate and is not necessary for the placement of the screw. To get rid of it entirely, I can right-click on it and select Delete. Or if I just want to suppress it, I can click on the icon and all of the mate errors will be fixed.